Welcome to this tour. We're on our way. Our homecoming 2016. Beautiful situation. Gonna catch up with Dr. G. Bright, my co-host, production partner, fingers behind me, the camera. So the three of us, we're gonna go and invade DC, capture Black excellence, document Black excellence, speak on Black excellence. Just be. What's good, everybody? We just touched down, me and Fingers, right here, nation's capital, the District of Columbia, at Washington, D.C. For my greatest weekend of the year, always Howard Homecoming. We're here for the Black Excellence Tour. You know we done went to Paris. Now we're here, waiting for my brother Dr. Garfield Bright, a.k.a. G Breezy, about to walk up on the scene, start providing some serious commentary interviews, you know what I'm saying? So this really gonna spotlight him. The experience was all about me and my man Fingers out here, and now we're about to put the mic in Dr. Garfield Bright's hand, let him see some people that haven't seen him in years, so we can interview about them, talk to them, gonna see a lot of love. So it's a beautiful thing, man. We here. Shout out to my girl Alizé La Vie, you know what I'm saying, Alizé La Vie magazine, our international partner. We're trying to go to Suriname. So hopefully, the next couple of months we're taking a Black Excellence tour to Suriname and some other international locations. Black Excellence, baby, gotta venerate who we are and our greatness.
Back in 89, Shy performed here at Crampton Auditorium. We came together as a group. We were rehearsing for like 6 months, 7 months, every day for like 5 hours a day. And we never performed anywhere publicly. It's a trip because most groups that are out, they don't perform their talent shows. Shy performed one time before we got a record deal, and it was right here. And if you know anything about Crampton Auditorium and Howard, the people who come to watch you perform in these joints, they treat it like the Apollo. Most of the people that come there be like the New York heads and the Philly heads. So they want to boo you because they want something to do and something fun to do at your expense while you trying to perform your heart out. So everybody at this particular show that we performed at before we got a record deal got booed. And let me tell you, the likes of which included Trey Lee, an MC who got signed to a major deal, Eric Roberson, sung Pretty Brown Eyes, and I never even heard that song before he sung it. I didn't even hear him in condition yet. He was so new. He got booed. Debbie Allen's niece. What's her name? Sean and them. They went up Pure Soul. They got booed. I'm talking about talented people who was killing it got booed. So Shy, we came on last. Thought we was gonna get booed. So my only victory was trying not to get booed. We killed it, didn't get booed. They asked for an encore. We performed If I Ever Fall in Love, and that's where we realized that night that we need to go get this record deal. That's when we decided to do it because we didn't get booed that night, and people were singing If I Ever right after we recorded. Sung it, and right in here, and that's what made us want to go get that deal. The only person who I ever borrowed a paper when I needed it. I forgot about that. He's the only person in my life that I trusted.
Don't tell nobody that, man. I remember that.
She was like, you? I was like, yo, if you ever met this dude, you'll see why I picked him as the one.
It's a funny dude.
Good to see you, man. Yo, homecoming, boy, it's real. Jelani Cobb's in the building.
Check this out.
Camaraderie, get that work and then ship it out. Get them in, get them 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 out. See, I've been down, but got back up. On can't be slipping now. Hey, get them in, get them out. Hey, get them in, get them out. I just fucked it up, I'm going in. I just fucked it up before the twin. I just really want a best friend. I just really need a back dance. And it's all from the back. Baby, try to really cut out. Left, right, front, back. Never know how to act. Checking out in the lifestyle. Yeah, nigga really right now. I'm on my witness right now. Yeah, let's go. I'm back in with Indian, baby. Started drinking for real praise. The niggas that hear me, they hate. Hella bitch a different kind, home. Can't be brain to the mind, on. Smoking shit for different time zone. Got me thinking about the cash. I've been flipping and drinking it faster. You just struggle with it, what you mad for? We the one who try to nigga with these niggas for the niggas, man. That's a laughter. For a while and then I switch it up.
My student, man, from Atlanta. I'm in G. Went to Howard, I told him to go to Howard. Now he up here making noise. Get him out.
Get him out. Get him in, get him out. Get him in, get him out. Get him in, get him out. See, I've been down with that back up. On can't be slipping now. Hey, get him in, get him out. Get him in, get him out. We gon' do it like this. It's fun.
This is my mentor right here.
My mentee from yeah. That's me too. Y'all killed that shit though, man. Y'all had all of them singing their songs and shit. I'm loving that shit.
95, man. Hey,
they gonna kill it. This is the future right here.
Hey,
And now we in DC, you already
That's what it is.
we came 3 years ago and look at us now. You feel me?
It's going down. So you.
And my prices just went up.
Do your thing, Woody. That's my student, making history at Howard. What's up, Ego?
We're on the same flight shit, man.
Slow motion, slow motion, slow motion, slow motion.
Unlimited. This brother's knowledge. If you don't know, he's making it happen. You know, trust me, the Black Excellence Tour.
What is a video? We're doing like 35 minutes.
You already know what it is, you know what I'm saying? Keep watching. I got some proud of you. You know what I'm saying? He ain't really that deep. I'm turning him into a star.
What do you think this is, man? It's on camera, man.
This is his video, brother.
This is a video?
You better know.
What kind of camera is this, man?
Camera, brother. Black Excellence Tour, Howard Homecoming 2016. We here. Me and my brother G Breezy, you know, Shy's in the building. And he provided a lot of commentary for the night. That's why he's the rest. So he's a weekend resident, you know, Urban Wall Street correspondent for the Black Excellence Tour. He gonna drop them bombs. I know you're tired of seeing hearing from me. So we're gonna hear from the good doc.
You know, it's a family affair, you know what I mean? Urban Wall Street, you know, I'm just, you know how they got the, you know, the Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant situation back then. It's like that, you know what I mean? We taking it to the whole, we both people though. We doing both. We got the 3-point joint, long range, micro, macro, but we also take it to the whole. We keep it on the streets, we keep it grimy, so we straddle both, you know what I mean? micro, macro. So, you know, you might pardon my basketball analogy, but it goes down. We here, homecoming 2016, baby.
So you know that Mr. Urban Wall Street. We're here on the Black Excellence Tour, Howard Homecoming 2016. It's a beautiful situation. I got my brother Dr. Garfield G. Bright and my man Tracy Lee, Esquire, who hosts this here happy hour at Amsterdam's right here on U Street. But right now I'm gonna turn it over to my brother, you know, my co-host on the tour, and he's gonna do what he do. G, take it away, baby.
Yo, 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 we at the Howard Homecoming Experience chilling out here, my man Urban Wall Street. I'm Garfield Bright holding it down for my boy real quick. But on my left hand side, we got Trey Lee in the building, right?
What up?
And a lot of people, you know, who follow Howard, know my man for being MC extraordinaire, you know, and everywhere that my crew go, you know, all that good stuff back in the day, right? But a lot of people don't know this excellent other side of the brother, right? I'm gonna let him holler at you about the other side of him, you know, that's relevant as well. That lives in the same space as that artist. Who are you, Tracy Lee?
Okay, let me explain. What's good, man? Thanks for the introduction, G. My name is Tracy Lee. I'm a former artist on Universal Records. I had an album out called Many Faces, featured the likes of Notorious B.I.G. and Busta Rhymes. But during that time, there were a lot of trials and tribulations. I really didn't understand about the business of music. So therefore, a couple years later, you know, trying to find myself, and I discovered a revelation. I figured I'd learn the business of music, and what better way to learn the business of music than going back to the core. So I went to law school. You know what I mean? Learned the legalities of the music business. Graduated, in 2003, graduated in 2006. Got my JD from Southern University Law School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But before I continue, I also have to mention I got my undergrad at Howard University.
That's right.
HU. You know what I'm saying? The measure of black intelligentsia.
That's right.
But back to the story. Graduated in 2006. Got my JD in 2006. Passed the bar in 2007. I've been a licensed attorney since 2007, and my journey has took me in that path, and it has allowed me to also become a professor at Coppin State University as of 2016, teaching the business of music. So God is good, man. He took me full circle, so now I feel like I am whole with regards to not only being an artist, but also understanding the business of music.
Now look, a lot of cats out there, especially the young folks out there, you know, when you look at the entertainment industry, or when you think about your time and experience spent in school, those two are like mutually exclusive to you. You don't feel like they can be both and. But I'm getting my PhD right now at Georgia State. I'm also an artist. I'm in Shy.
Of course.
I'm a living representation of both, and this brother is the same exact way. So I just want y'all to know that you can still rock your hoodie, be you. You ain't got to talk all extra, whatever. But the brain power, the understanding, the wherewithal to understand what you're dealing with and to navigate it successfully, that can also be a part of your get down without sacrificing who you are. I just want you to understand that.
Exactly.
I want to ask this brother one more question. Through your whole progression to where you are now, the artist side of it, the academia side of it, because the bar is no joke. What was the commonality in both those things in terms of the challenges, and what kept you going?
Well, the commonality of it is really understanding what both sides are and what both sides represent. As an artist, I thought it was strictly about the music, which technically it should
down
be.
to, yeah, hopefully.
You know what I'm saying? Hopefully. But understanding that you are delving or diving into the music business, you have to understand about the music business side of it. And that was the thing that I struggled with in the beginning, because I just wanted to be an artist, I wanted my music to be heard, and that was that. But in order for you to get into this game, it's pertinent that you understand about the business. Otherwise, you will get swallowed alive with it. So that was some of the struggles with that part of it. Right. Now, with the part of it with regards to being on the business side, some of the struggles are that you're not an artist anymore. Let me take that back. You're still an artist at heart, but you can't be as creative, because time allows you the space to be creative. So a lot of your time is taken up educating, a lot of your time is taken up doing other things other than being creative, and that's the part that I'll be quite honest, G. That's the part that I miss, because that's a part of my fabric.
Yes.
Like I'm an artist at heart, and I can't wait to get back in the studio. I can't wait to start writing again. I constantly write in my head, but I can't wait to make that like my sole purpose, creating projects, getting myself involved with other people's projects, producing things like that. So that's kind of the struggle that you go through. If you can find that balance, it's the perfect world, man.
Good. The nexus, man. As an artist and a creative type, how many times, if you're listening out there, has your mother and father told you to stop dreaming about that stuff and get a real job? If you follow that advice inside your own skin, you might have the aptitude to be that chemistry major and stuff like that. But your soul is going to wither up and die, because the thing that you have most emotionally attached yourself to in terms of expressing you is your music, or your writing, or your acting, or whatever that part of your creative self is. If you truncate and contain that, you're not going to manifest 100% you. And that's not fair to your spirit.
Exactly.
So try to navigate, even if it's a little pain at first, try to navigate a way to, like a zipper, zip those two sides up to where they become an organic one.
Preach.
And that's what me and him are trying to do. And we don't have all the answers, but we're definitely striving.
I don't want to cut you off. We're not trying, we're doing it.
My man.
We are living examples of what it is to zipper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Both sides of it. We're doing it actively.
Word up.
You know what I mean? It's not, you don't have to give up one for the other.
Yes, man.
This is what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Live your dreams. It's a dude named Robin D.G. Kelly who has a theoretical framework called utopianism. In the academic space, they talk about utopia. And why is that important? Because the thing that tethers you to this style, this space, this whole gentrified world is the lack of ability to dream and think outside of what this shit is.
Exactly.
To see outside of what it is. So you can't even picture a reality without capitalism being a part of it. You don't even know what that would look like, because you can't imagine that. Imagination, according to society, is for little kids. But your experiences, if you keep your imagination and your wisdom as an adult, then that's when you can move and change. And that's, if you're an artist to use those, that's when you can actually create something that's transcendent of the now.
Absolutely.
And that's what we try to have with everything we do.
Absolutely, man.
Black excellence.
Yep. So as he said, live your dream, continue to live your dream. Even after you think it may not be possible, it still is possible. Live your dream. But understand, there's not a ceiling to what you do. You can still be multifaceted in anything that you desire or want or need in the quest to fulfilling your dream. And that's what I feel like I did. I figured I needed this. This was never my intention and never my dream to be an attorney, but I needed this in order to fulfill my ultimate goal in my life.
That's dope. That's dope. Yes, y'all. Black excellence on the rise. We documenting it, making sure that everybody gets to feel it from a perspective that's not commonly presented. So we got to have complexity in our narrative, so it won't be a single narrative story no more.
Indeed.
There we go.
Indeed. Period.
If there was no Shy doing it on the independent level, these independent dudes wouldn't be no Raheem Devon, wouldn't be no Rashawn Patterson. You know what I mean? Because what y'all did was huge in that y'all were on a joint venture, independent, no major label push, but yet the whole world knew Shy.
What's good? We had the Black Excellence Tour, and of course, I could not continue without spotlighting my sister doing big things, and then it's been my sister since like, wow, forever. So if you think you know me, ask her, and you'll find out how much you don't.
You'll find out how much you don't know him.
See, the real plan is when we're able to print on demand. And see what this right now, I gotta sell whatever inventory I got. When I'm printing on demand, I just got bodies and I'm just making them joints as you want them and need them right there. So I never have any spillage. I have never that I don't need.
Well, that's efficiency. That's business efficiency. He's teaching y'all about entrepreneurship 101. That's y'all need to listen.
Better yet, it's a promise.
So we coming home,
We're scared.
but home done turned into like what Public Enemy was talking about when they said the Terror Dome.
but they terrified of us.
They're afraid of us.
But the thing is, Howard is gentrified now. But when we come to homecoming, we make it back to other complexion that it used to be for that night. So the spaces that have turned into white spaces due to gentrification, we re-blacking them, you know what I mean? And the people that are now in that space that are white are looking at us like, what the fuck? It's more panic.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
Right. So back then, they were letting the community's blight be blighted.
Right.
That when you call, so this is what gentrification where people stop. But because I went to school in Howard, in Georgia State, and I'm in the PhD level, they talk about what that really is. It's this thing called the neoliberal agenda.
Okay.
This the big umbrella that includes gentrification. A lot of people just know the gentrification part.
Right.
But the neoliberal agenda operates off of something called an imaginary. They're imaginary. How they see this shit, they have enough money to fund it and make it become real.
So check it out, we're here, Black Excellence Tour, with my brother Joe Askew, 19 years, celebrate 19 years with their homecoming events. We're at Cities, it's a beautiful thing. But I want to ask this brother, because he was one of my good brothers, and not because I went to Howard and we know each other, but he supported Howard Homecoming Experience. And I haven't spoken to him since last year when he got it. So let me know, how'd you enjoy the film, Joe?
Hey man, I enjoyed it. I like the fact that it really goes back and teaches you something about the Mecca and the history of our great university. A great university, the history of our people. So Earl, you hit it, man.
Because he's my brother, but also because he appreciates quality. But when I ask you unbiasedly, how did you enjoy the film, brother?
I loved it. Not only have I used it as a recruiting tool for Howard, but HBCUs as a whole.
Guru, but some of y'all don't know that. Some of us know, but this kid right here, it's a whole other level of finances. You can check him out on the Urban Wall Street Investing 101 and the Education Bubble. It's a beautiful thing. Whoa, the Black Excellence Tour. We at Cities. I got my brother, Fort Green's finest, Ron D. Berry. Let's go. Roll call, roll call. Earl the Barber. Ron D. Berry the Sorcerer. Come on, let's go, let's go. Ron D. Berry, the cleanest in the house. I want my brother Chip Joyner. He's a major figure, very humble. But if you're in Atlanta, check out Chow Baby. But freshman year, I'm from the Bronx. This brother was in the cafeteria with a smoking jacket, an ascot, and a pipe. I'm like, yo, I'm missing something. What's good, baby?
What's good, man?
Good.
Good seeing you, man.
Always good. Yo, how is Atlanta? How's Chow Baby?
Chow Baby's good. Chow Baby's good. But now we diversified. So we have different restaurants in the airport, and we're opening Golden Corral in New York also. Upstate New York.
New York.
It opens in December.
Where is it?
In Poughkeepsie.
this street. I used to jog around this block, but past the high school, some apartments. Clifton Terraces used to be on that. That used to be called Clifton Terrace. I used to patrol them roofs. There used to be all kind of crack vials and shit up there.
Yep.
I was in the Nation of Islam. We had that security contract. And directly across the street is my apartment building, but you can't see it from the building right here because it's lower. But I used to be a security guard there. No weapons, during the crack era. Clifton Terrace, if you know anything about DC, was New Jack City. They say which beat was you flipping on? Words was you tripping on? Word glad you fucked the poem, son. I don't went beyond. Words, phrases, nouns and shit. My poetic license got me Mr. Nouns and shit. Yeah, I mean, you know this culture that I represent. Lifestyle obvious, vibration evident. One love. The culture that I represent is what? Lifestyle obvious, vibration evident. Closer to apocalypse. MC still topicless. I'ma make it obvious exactly what the topic is. The infinite contained within the finite. The universal mind of hip hop inside the mic. Life.
Weeks, man.
Wait, one more.
Your boy,
Probably side with this man. I think he got an A. Right up in there, up in the corner.
Yes.
From Boston.
Yes, man. Yes. And we just out here making history, trying to be excellent. Black excellence, baby.
We out here, baby. HU family, baby, forever. Forever, baby, forever.
We out here, get to the flagpole. We out here chilling right now. You got the dream face, you're like, I'm chilling. Black Excellence Tour, we on the yard with my girl, T. Woody. It's a beautiful situation. What's up, T?
You know, love, baby.
T, I know you saw this film, right?
No, I need to get it.
What's up, did you and Will see this? Did you see this with your girl?
I have not seen it.
You need this.
I said press on vinyl.
Are y'all coming to Howard? So what's going on? We here, Mr. Urban Wall Street, the Black Excellence Tour, Howard Homecoming 2016. It's a beautiful thing. I'm with my brothers here, and they're supporting the cause. Why? Because they know me now, because they went to Howard, they understand excellence, and they appreciate substance. We have young people that we're going to inspire, and I appreciate them all for being a part of this movement to empower the world, the people of color, and to do great things, because we all are Black Excellence.
Right, yes, sir. No doubt, no doubt.
Black Excellence. Black Excellence. Black Excellence.
Keep saying it until we see it consistently. Say it. Say it. So these children got to say, you know what, I need to be excellent. Yes, you do need to be excellent. Is excellence getting a degree, an advanced degree? Yes. Is it owning a business? Yes. Is it being an accountable man to your family?
Hell yeah.
Yes. All of that. Is it being a viable member of society? Yeah, absolutely. It is going above whatever the bar is. And right now, America set the bar on the ground. The bar sits on the ground, man. Oh man, you have to dig a hole to find the standard. So we're gonna keep raising it, man. That's why I'm so proud of you, man. Because you could have rested on your laurels. You could have done some other stuff.
Moved on, right?
I can do all that stuff and still show y'all that I'm a mind and a voice.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. No, man. I appreciate him, man, because you know, the people are like, and I'm like, he could have been like, you know what, I'm gonna do something else. You know, because them young people, when he walked through the door, they're like, I'm Christian, let's do it. Idea. And he's the only voice telling them that idea can become reality. That's what we needed, man. Our communities would die without people like Earl.
That's crazy.
You gotta understand it. But they so thirsty for fame that they miss fortune. Because what he is fortune. But you just want somebody to call your name. Nah, man. Let them write about your name. I wouldn't be the man I am if it wasn't for. Right.
Wow.
Not what they say on
I got kids. That's right. You got kids tell me, yo, you changed my life. Thank you for changing my life. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for exposing me. Thank you for letting me know that I didn't know as much as I know. Thank you for letting me know that there's more. I really appreciate you. Thank you for giving me the best first year in junior high school and 8th grade in junior high school. That shit, I'm like, yo, that's the Grammy. I don't need no no bread. If I know that young person right there, like, that's golden.
Right.
And then I got another young lady, I just got, 6 years ago, 6 years ago, she was in 10th grade. Never did write scripts, never did anything. 6 years ago. Cut to now, she's in her senior year at Mercy College on a full media scholarship from the seed was planted. And over the summer, she's at dinner, her phone was blowing up, so who knows calling me? The production partners called up, the project they was working on just got a green light from HBO. Now she started in young producers, but 6 years later.
It don't happen until you nurture that seed, man.
Right.
You gotta take that journey.
That's what she did. She came back, and I just had her a few weeks ago, I'm gonna put that up. A few weeks ago, she came and she spoke to my current 10th graders at Harlem Children's Zone. I'm like, so 6 years ago, she was sitting where y'all are sitting. 6 years later, she's wrapping up on the college and might never know, might have her film drop on HBO. It can happen, y'all. And she's from that same community.
Right.
Poor and all that, like she's from Harlem, right with y'all. So now they're like, you know what? You can't beat that.
To the narrative that says that what our community is lacking. Because if you're not from our community, you're not authorized to speak about the status. Don't define my children like this. Right. Because you know what our children are? Excellent.
And always have been.
Every day, and we just gonna keep telling them that.
Yo, what's up?
Yes.
We at Howard University homecoming. We always doing Black Excellence, but this is the Black Excellence tour. And without further ado, I'm not gonna speak too much, but I'm gonna let you meet my man Charlie, another Howard alumni, and explain, explicate his aspect of what Black Excellence is. What do you do? Who are you?
Charlie Lewis, real estate, Harlem, USA, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens. Been in Harlem 20 years. Howard 1989 School of B. Currently right now the president of the Alumni Club for New York.
Okay.
So I need everybody to get active because Howard University is, as you can see, it lives by the name of the Mecca. Excellence is everybody in every field all over the country, from media to entertainment, to real estate, to financial, to everything, entrepreneurs. There's so many people acting, everything, singers, the whole 9 yards. So we cover the gamut of what's going on. We give back, and truth for service is our motto, and that's what Howard University stands for. It's the legacy that we stand on, the people, the greats, from thank you, Adam Clayton Powell, and all the legendary, Felicia Rashad, Debbie Allen, and those are just the ones that we know. Charles Drew and all those that we didn't know, but then the current people, Taraji's, the Laz Alonso, everybody like that, Raz Baracus, all the mayors, Kasim Reed, Camilla Harris in California, we cover the gamut statewide, national-wide. So that's what Howard University is, and we in every facet. And what I tell kids today is that Howard University stands in DC. DC, the original chocolate city. Right. And so therefore we are standing on the banks of greats, of slaves, of people who came in this country, who built this country. And how, if it wasn't for Howard University, there would be no other universities and greats. And there would not be Roe versus Wade. And things of that nature. So that's what Howard University stands for. It was the first, you know, a lot of people don't know. Howard University was the school that accepted blacks from the South. Came up because we couldn't go to school because of Jim Crow.
General Otis Howard, the Freedmen Bureau.
There you go. And so basically you have the legends like Vernon Jordan, who was here. He came up from the South. He couldn't go to the University of Georgia. When he got here, he got his education, he left here and then went back and he fought to integrate the University of Georgia. People don't know that. And those are the things, small little nuggets that made this university great, that makes this country great. That's what Howard stands for.
I want to ask this brother a question. As a real estate mogul that he is, in this era of the neoliberal agenda and gentrification happening in these cities, and he's dealing primarily with real estate, where you see a lot of blighted communities, the value going low and people buying them up, and then how are you able to navigate that world where you know that there's some real money predators who are into that kind of thing, who want to really get that property and flip it into a space that's not this color?
Right, well, okay, that's a loaded question.
I know.
It's a loaded question, and I'm going to try to dissect it real quick.
Do your thing.
But the bottom line is, there was an urban blight that happened in the 90s. People moved out, crack came into some of the cities, moved people out. A lot of people can't remember that 20 years ago. Here in DC was the murder capital of the city. Look at it now. A lot of people left. Even African Americans left and left their cities and went to the suburbs and chasing that dream, that American dream, where that opened up some of the neighborhoods. And if cities don't have different ramifications with the developers, and making sure that the developers. New York City is a prime example. Case in point, New York has what they call HDFCs, which is income restricted properties, which keeps the fabric of the neighborhood together. When you own a free market home, you can sell to anybody. But when you have restrictions placed on that, or you have restrictions placed on buildings that developers have to abide by, that keeps the neighborhood together and it keeps the fabric of the neighborhood together. A lot of these cities don't have that. It pushes people out. People can come in, buy a block, create a whole new city, and next thing you know, you got a whole new town with a whole new flavor with no culture or anything. And as we all know, people love our culture, and that's the thing. People want to steal what this is. And so black excellence comes down to, you got to be in the city council on the local level, you got to be on the state level, you have to be in the boardrooms with the developers and the bankers, and you have to make sure that there's a perfect mix in order to keep that fabric of the community intact. And that's where it starts. So I know I didn't really answer that question in that way, but in a roundabout way, it's layered. And so what happens now, my tagline is love the way you live. And that's real estate, art, food, and fashion. And a lot of people come into New York City, they want Harlem, but they can't get into Harlem. They want to steal that culture, but we own that.
That's right.
And that's what we own. And there are a lot of black entrepreneurs, there are a lot of black business owners still in a lot of these cities, but they are now realizing and waking up to understand, you know what, the value of property and real estate, and it builds wealth.
Wow.
And that is what I'm talking about. Key.
That's what I'm talking about. So it always goes back to the land, baby.
Goes back to the land. And you got to buy the land in the right spaces. New York City, another case in point, is a vertical city. We live straight up. We don't live wide out.
That's right.
So whenever you buy real estate, you buy real estate based on two things. One, school district, because that's where the property values are always high. And you buy value, you buy property when something is butting up against the land. So a river, a lake, a private community where they can't build anymore. So therefore they want to be in that. And when you want to be in that, that keeps the value high. It doesn't depreciate the value. Don't buy a house just to buy a house. Buy a house for an investment. That's the key.
We were talking to Mama Ben, Miss Ali last night from Ben's Chili Bowl, and one of her main things in terms of her buying that particular property for $5,000 back in 1958 was a strategic area. So that strategic piece was always important and foundational for the entrepreneurial aspect of real estate ownership. And he just broke it down real succinct, and that's why he is what he is.
What we do. Hey, true baby.
That was actually,
now
can I get this?
My name is Marcus Alexander Craig Bradford. I'm a junior sociology major at Howard University. I produce and direct music videos to change the social construct of the African American community by altering the perspective that the African American male has on himself. You see, it goes a little something like this. He or she who controls the images projected to the masses controls the self-esteem. What I do, I help black men realize that power. Black power is beautiful power. Black power is God-given. Malcolm X knew that. MLK Jr. knew that. I know that. Stay sharp. Keep it fabulous.
Rally round the flag. Yo, we at the flagpole at Howard University.
major historical significance before we got to Howard, and even in our contemporary time significant. And I want Sherm to break down in his terms how he feels about that.
So we recognize that in this era of improper policing, poor schools, in this era of economic disempowerment in our communities, we have activists, we have athletes raising their fists and taking a knee. But what we did at Howard is we always gathered around the flagpole, just as a sign of unity, even in the midst of oppression, repression, denigration, and the destruction of our communities. We knew that there was always a place on campus where we could come together. And if you look around now, there are thousands upon thousands of bison gathering at this flagpole. Why? Because it's instinctive in us. Yes. It's what we did when we were in school. 25 years ago, we gathered at this flagpole and we heard a word from somebody. 25 years ago, we gathered at this flagpole and we were empowered, we were encouraged, we were affirmed, we were esteemed. Yes. So we're gathering at this flagpole in 2016 to say that we are bent, but we're not broken. Yes. We're bruised, but we're not counted out. Even in our professional capacities, and there's a myriad of professionals here in every walk of life, but still, once a bison, always a bison, and this flagpole will always be the symbol around which we gather, and that's why we're here today.
Exactly. Now add to that by saying that in the macro-micro kind of way, the same way that Howard University in terms of HBCUs is like the beacon that deploys the intelligentsia that impacts and moves and shakes the world, this flagpole in the microcosmic way within Howard University is that same beacon around which we draw to each other, the epicenter, the axis, if you will. Right. And so that we're here, the first word I heard at this flagpole in terms of significance as a 17-year-old was my man that's now the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Raz Baraka, was here. When I walked on the campus, the prestigious feeling, and to see a young brother, the son of Amir Baraka, speaking a good word, an empowering word, set the tone and set the tradition and the structure. We were part of something called Black Neoforce. Raz was the head of that with April Silver. And our acronym was FORCE equals mass times acceleration. Yes. We wanted to be the force to accelerate the masses. And when we come to this rallying cry, this homecoming, and come to the epicenter, that's exactly what we're still enacting in 2016. Is that force to accelerate masses. We still have that spirit. And this flagpole is highly symbolic of that. So yeah, Black excellence is here.
Black excellence. It is not what you do, it's how you do what you do. It doesn't matter what area of life you're in, it doesn't matter your vocation, it doesn't matter your profession. It matters your disposition. Ooh. And I met this brother, I remember meeting at this flagpole when Shy was formed, and we talked about their deal and how they were about to set the music industry on fire at this flagpole. This flagpole, like he said, is a beacon, but it draws us. We're intrinsically drawn. We don't even recognize why we're here. We just look up and we've gathered at this place. This will always be the locus of Howard University's push for us to be the best that we can be, the brightest that we can be, and all that we can be. Black excellence is how we live our lives.
And that's peace from some Howard Bison. Black excellence, baby.
Forever.
Yo, we here at the flagpole at Howard University homecoming, representing Black excellence. The Black excellence tour continues. My name is Garfield Bright. I'm kind of filling in for my man Earl Christian III, Urban Wall Street. And I have a person with me, my man Craig. I would speak for the man. His accolades are so impressive. I'm gonna let him speak to you about who he is. So Craig, who are you? Tell him.
Well, first of all, let me dap my guy up. It's good to see you, Black.
You too, man.
Years we came in together, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I do music and I'm in tech. So I'm in two spaces. I'm wearing about 5 hats. And so basically what I do and what I've been doing for all these years is production and musicianship and bringing Black excellence to the forefront in the from the Howard perspective. So that's really what I've been doing. I've worked with a lot of cats down through the years, you know.
Give me some specifics so people know who.
Well, I came in the game with Will Smith, Summertime Project, and I did a bunch of records on that's coming straight out of Howard. That's how I got on through Will and doing TV stuff and all of that with Will. But then I moved on and Started working with a ton of other people, from Aaliyah to Kanye to Luda to LL to Mary. It's just been a really crazy ride, you know. So we do what we do.
And what do you attribute, you know, because dealing with those types of things in the industry, me being in the industry, know how flighty it is. What do you owe your sustainability to?
Well, first and foremost, I owe it to my faith. I have to, you know, be the first thing to say. My faith. I came into this space through the gospel community, and playing keys and all of that in church, and playing the organ and all that, you know, that type of thing. You know, kind of a typical story in our community. But then beyond that, just really perfecting my craft. And putting the real time in, man, I was into learning and getting better at what I do and not expecting any free rides. And so that's kind of how I got into it and how what's been sustaining me all this time. And now, through that level of musicianship that I'm at, it's kind of hard to fire me. You know?
You make yourself valuable.
I have a value now that transcends trends. And so it keeps me alive, it keeps me going.
Now, the main thing, everybody who we've been interviewing, is this concept, this notion of being strategic. When I talked to Mama Ben at Ben's Chili Bowl, Virginia Ali, the real estate mogul that we interviewed a little while ago, everything is about strategic maneuvering, especially in the entrepreneurial spirit. What has that been for you in terms of strategic planning? How has that been important for you in your work?
Well, really, it's been effective for me to really study the cats who did it best. So it's been sort of watching the templates and watching who did it, how well they did it and how well they didn't do it, sort of to help me guide my own direction on my path.
Right.
And I often refer to it as being strategic and also creating an afterlife.
Speak on that.
Because ultimately, when it's all said and done, all these things they move.
Yes.
This whole life is fluid, so you never know where you're going to end up. So as long as you're building an after plan, an afterlife, I call it, which is creating a narrative outside of what people think you're going to be doing. So you're creating a narrative and building relationships in the communities and working in school systems, doing things for your communities, mentoring young people and all of that. The community won't let you die. Even when the industry says you're over, they won't let you die. They will embrace you and continue to lift you up because you represent them so well.
Now see what he just said is my story as well. I'm in shock, but also I'm getting my PhD at Georgia State University because the afterlife aspect, that's important. And not only that on those levels, but the legacy aspect for my progeny. And the community's work and all of that, that's an extension of, Muhammad Ali once said a poem, it was 2 words. He said, me, we. And that I am because we are mentality, that Ubuntu, this guy is talking about that. And he's doing it through a musical context.
Yep. And to be frank with you, we've evolved this conversation, the narrative is shifting. I have a tech company now, we sell technology globally. We do a lot in Africa, we do a lot in Brazil, we do a lot in America. But we partner with Microsoft, we partner with Intel, and what we do is we take music education and other types of education, different aspects of education to our youth. And we give back. And not through the quintessential, prism of Euro. You know what I mean? Right. So we do it in a lot of different ways, and it's affordable, which makes it feel good for me because it's sticking on the property and the legacy and all of that. That's very important to me. So I just partnered with Usher. I'm on his advisory board for his foundation. I'm partnered with a number of foundations, but we also have a foundation, General King Technologies, is the name of my company. All of this was born out of the brain of the music, but now it's sort of gotten its own legs. And now we're not just doing music in schools, we're taking music along with other things. But in the end of the day, it's that afterlife concept. The Rolodex was initially built through music, but now we just did a partnership with the White House. So there are things that we're doing now that really are beyond music. But music is still my first love, but they're never going to die. And to be honest with you, the music brain, the thing that happens in my brain mentally from music, has encouraged and nurtured all the shit I'm doing now in all these other spaces.
That's true.
And you know this.
Yep. That's word sound.
I ain't got to say it.
Sound, baby. 1120 feet per second. It does things. Information is physical.
That's right.
Black excellence.
This is my man Mike Dobson. You don't know, he's a major player at Humble. Google that name, Mike Dobson.
What's up?
You're gonna find out.
My man. Good thing.
So this is Mark Gay, another member, the original member of Shy. Homecoming, baby. Let's mess with this.
Well, it's me hot deep. Me funky hot deep. We got to get this show for you. All right. Well, it's me hot deep. Yeah. Me funky hot deep. Yeah. We gonna get this show for you. All right. Yeah. I love my Q side. Right. Yeah. I tell the day that I got. Yeah. You know the Q so right. Yeah. I hit your back. Yeah. So I Q side. I Q side. I Q side. I Q. Oh, that, RBC. I see what? Oh, that, RBC. I see what? I see your funky folk on us. I see your funky folk on us. Look, is it? Your funky folk on us. All right. All right. Yeah, there you go. I'll keep it up. Look at you. And I'm being filmed for that sake. They get all this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Happy homecoming. Yes, sir. I'm glad I'm out here.
How y'all filming today?
Every day.
I know, I've been following with her.
What's your name?
Nina.
Okay. On Facebook?
I'm on Facebook with friends on Facebook.
Nina, what's okay, Nina?
Angela Mercer.
I was about to say Mercer.
Yeah, I graduated in 95.
But nice.
So I saw y'all in Paris.
You did?
Yeah, Paris made me mad.
Really? Tell me about that.
Because of history.
Oh, yeah.
When you come down to Champs-Elysees, you see the...
Yeah. That's what we talking about that, right? We was going in.
Yeah.
I went deep into that.
Yeah,
I love that.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in the South.
Yeah.
Where y'all going tonight?
Yeah, what's good, everybody? You know we're here, Black Excellence Tour, Howard Homecoming 2016. Right now we outside of Darnell's. That's the spot where we always come right after the yard. Come down here for cocktails, some more, camaraderie and gathering. It's a beautiful thing. You see the beautiful people. So we out here. The film is going to the roof. People are buying. A lot of people support it, talking about it. If you don't know, definitely cop this, because this is what made it all possible to start the Black Excellence Tour. HUATVexperience.com. It's a beautiful thing, man. You're going to see tonight. Culture Traders is going down. Maybe we're in it, maybe we're not. Watch it. It's a beautiful thing. Go out for the bright and shine, being recognized. So it's a beautiful thing. Urban Wall Street, on location, Black Excellence Tour, our homecoming. G Breezy, come here, G Breezy. Oh, hold on, I see my man right here. Hey, he's coming right now. Give us a second. There he is. So here's the man of the night, you know what I'm saying? We're going as culture creators tonight. Why? Because culture creators is recognized as pioneers, individuals did some great things with the industry. These brothers were definitely pioneers with Shy, you know it. One of the most classic songs ever. So they're being recognized tonight, like so many other times, of being recognized as creators of a culture. And if you don't really know the severity and the seriousness of what Shy did in the 90s, do your homework. My name's G, let them know, baby.
Yo, man, being out of tonight is a beautiful thing, and you know, for your peers and colleagues that you went to school with, most of which turned out great and excellent. For them to be honoring me as an excellent contributor to this thing, it's nothing better than as a culminating piece to homecoming, man. I'm just happy. Word up.
So it's a beautiful thing, man. I recognize excellence. Like excellence all day, every day. That is he.
That's it.
So here we are at the Culture Creators event. It's a beautiful night, recognizing and honoring some incredible people who have been creating culture and doing amazing and pioneering things over the past 2 decades and beyond even. But in a moment, we're going to talk to a good brother of mine for over 20 years, my HU brother, Don Poole Cummins. He's done some fabulous things, some phenomenal things in the game, with Mary J. Blige, Foxy Brown, franchising and all that. We'll just stay tuned. We're going to talk to him. He's going to let you know, how life and the business has been to him. But Wall Street, like excellence to Thank you. I'm proud of you, and I'm thank you, and I'm very proud of you because you know it's just amazing. I was talking to Garfield. I said we're gonna have fun tonight, but talk to a few people. We got to see you. We had ambition when we were young people, right?
Absolutely.
We knew we wanted something more, but we didn't necessarily maybe know what.
Right.
So now that we're here on this, we've become excellent in what we do, and we're black at doing it, right?
Black excellence.
So how has being black, being excellent in your blackness, propelled you to where you are today, Boo?
I think the culture. I think it's where we're from. I think, you know, it's ingrained in us. It's, you know, I think we came from a time where, you know, it was a special time, and it was when we were in Howard University back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was a spirit of growth that was in us, that we were determined to make change and change the way things were before us. And what I mean by that is just the culture and create. We're just creative people, and just creating a different way. You know, there's always different ways to get to the same place, and I think we were creative in trying to propel and take it to the next level. And you know, we were just grinding from day one. You know, we just wanted it. We were hungry.
Now, just so you all know, well, who is he? You know, he's the man behind the magic. He's a humble, quiet brother, but he gets it done. So, you know, if you shook to anything sexy in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Know that he was rocking with it. But just real quick, you humble, but just let him know just a little quick bio of who my man Don Poole is.
I mean, well, we started in the music game probably around 94. Was working with my boy Mark Pitts. He kind of introduced me to the management side of the business. And from there, I, you know, took on my first client, Foxy Brown, signed her to my management company, got her a deal. You know, I think you know how the rest turned out. You know, became a multi-platinum superstar. We traveled the world, branded, did, you know, strategic and creative and cultural things with that music and being able to, you know, let people know, you know, she was like the first of her kind in what she was doing. So, you know, we definitely broke the mold for the female, you know, rapper at that point. And then I went on to be executive vice president of MCA for a bit, and worked with, you know, my sis Mary J. Blige, you know, for 5 or 6 years underneath that umbrella. You know, we made some magic there as well. Just a blessing. I was just blessed to be able to take this path and have music, you know, be able to propel me to where I am now, and all the businesses that I've been able to achieve based on the success of the music business.
And I have to say that, because you see, I didn't mean to cut my brother off, but I love it because, and this is about starting the music business, but understanding businesses. If you don't know, you got one of the most successful, and I might have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember maybe if not a year ago, still you had the most successful IHOP franchise in the country.
We definitely started off.
In the country.
We definitely started off, you know, in that top 10 in the country, being, you know, in Brooklyn, New York, and you know, franchise has been really good to us. You know, it's a great market. You know, we've done IHOPs, we've done Checkers. You know, we're looking at a couple other brands, but you know, we've been pretty successful in, you know, branding and, you know, bringing that business, you know, to the people. And obviously I'm, you know, blessed to be able to bring that to the borough that I'm from, which is Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yo, Don Poe, brother. Oh man, yeah. Decades, man. I love it, man. I'm proud of you. I'm
Thank you, brother.
Proud of me. We're gonna keep doing it.
Thank you, brother.
You've been Black Excellence for 2 decades, so how could you not be a part of the Black Excellence tour?
Thank you, Culture Creators.
Culture Creators, man. It's a beautiful thing.
All right. This is Don Poe, and I am Black Excellence.
Foxy Brown is coming out. It's gonna be popping. Action show, and it all came from Howard. And yo, I love it because the beautiful thing about Howard and why I do what I do, because excellence and blackness, unfortunately, they don't coincide the way mainstream presents it. Right. So it's important. It's up to us to let the generations that follow know that they are excellent in their blackness. Right. And in their blackness, they are excellent. Right. And as long as they believe they hold that, the world is theirs. And I'll say this, a lot of executives 5, 6 years ago, they wanted to water down the product. They want to be like, how can we fit in the others? How can we make this international? Now they want the realness, and the realness came for me from Howard. They want to know our stories. One of the stories I'm working on right now is Tommy Smith and John Carlos, but they fist up at the Olympics. Yeah, no that I learned that story from Howard. I didn't know that story, how those men sacrificed themselves. So I was able to go out, get their life rights, which is another story, and be able to tell their story, which we're trying to work on, me and John Singleton. But that all came from knowledge I got from Howard, which is the knowledge of just self-empowerment. Just being empowered, just being us. Just being. And when we say being us, you know, just be. Yeah. Just being us. Right. Now I wish you much success that you've been doing it. I'm proud of you. I know you're going to win. I look forward to Rebel. You know I'm there. And if you need it, you know, we're gonna make that happen. Yeah. Even if you gotta walk by and promote the sequel. Word out experience he rolled out. We can do that. We can do that. Word up. D Jackson, word up. Don't shoot. Get a still photo all day. Now get a still photo. 2017. Now get a still out. I saw.
Ass in the bunches, 12 minutes, stick tight, pick the dice, get in your shit. We're gonna make sure you're shit tight. Pull up, never blow on like that palm. He'll the box swarms, get up in that ass like dogs, storm arm in the place, and a long race, got a flip, and it's all it takes. tip. When the dick's all we punch with, in a duck stick. Let me be the we got to show it on free. Don't turn up the shovel and choose. I think I'm all on easy. Like Philly, the love of the sea. You know this is down. Hey, this is how we get down with no question. When I'm in chickens midsection. Pull a rock off from every part of quick sessions. When all you call, giving your whole to whether they zinc D-ball like I'm shooting supposed to. A real MC, take you with a screw like D, a screw like G. Here we are, I use the mic to rule like a pharaoh. Dip the Norman of a barrel. Ha, you know we did. Stand to the bone like railroad chicks. Crack your roll, take this play from the black to bricks. Hey, to the city, baby, I swear, I'm in the towns and things like that. You make it a deal, I'm a shadow of a cat. If you don't snap, until I get the cream like that. 17 mil, and it won't play, it won't play. Like Sam Shady, Federal State, see? Like a play on my MTV. Like a little LA Jersey. Everybody sing the song, everybody sing the song, everybody sing the song. It's party time. Sing the song, yo. It's party time. It's party. Every time, come on. It's party time. Sing the song, yo. It's party time. So, with no question, hey, lyrics reaction, storms destined, a new god niggas chosen, a threat in his own good protection, Duke the bestin', my profession, when I ride roots like a stretch bench, hands get laced, so yeah, keep a phone cop, just in case, Tracy Steely Rock, son, the chosen, one of we got, this body she like, is frozen, oh, such a frozen, oh, go to be frozen, not trying to hear it, when I want the spirits, shows continue, jump over venue, with flows, that singing they get through, and so, over the sword, and then goes the I'm putting the passion so that we're going to the nigga. I'm not talking to stop with my bitch showing me. Everybody do it's party time! See the studio! It's party time! Having a ball! Hey, see, I love you! This is what it is! Having a homecoming, goddammit! Y'all better make some motherfucking noise for Troy Lee in the building! Everybody hip-hop, put your hands in the air! Put your hands in the air, Troy Lee from the storm!
We here. The blast in the storm. I hope you succeed.
Yeah, so long.
My brother.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Man, what's good?
Man, it's a blessing.
Yo, I've known this brother for 30 years since I came freshman year out. This is my brother.
He held me down. He held me down. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Never.
Follow the commandments. Follow the commandments. That's what's up. Yeah, hold it down.
I saw.
We out here, the Black Excellence Tour, culture creators, representing a beautiful thing. Black Excellence Tour, Mr. Urban Wall Street, we here. You see the crowds, you see the love, you see the festivities, you will drink. So if you didn't make it to Howard Homecoming 2016, make sure you're here 2017 for the bicentennial 150 years of Howard University. Black Excellence, baby. Happy homecoming.
been around the world and done a lot of things in my life, you know. But here, dealing with this Black Excellence Tour and really like looking through the lens of Black excellence on purpose, man, Earl and me, the cameraman, my boy Alan, the things that we captured have been just phenomenal. And so one of those highlights came yesterday. DC was one of the places when I was 17 years old that I came to at Howard. Didn't know what to expect. You know, you had Florida Avenue Grill, you had so much history, legacy, you know, the Cardoza, you had, you know, when Marvin Gaye went to school, the Dunbars, you know, you had so much rich cultural history around pre-gentrification. And even with the crack era, even with the homeless Vietnam vets and all that stuff that proliferated the city, DC was home. Go-Go, which is like a unique culture, is nowhere else. Chocolate City was something unique. And the emotional attachment that I had, not only to Howard, but to the city, I still have that. And so when I come back and I see gentrification has changed everything, it's such a great feeling to go downtown and look up and see something called Ben's Chili Bowl, still standing strong out of all the places. And so we took a walk in the Ben's Chili Bowl yesterday and we talked to the matriarch, Miss Virginia Ali, who is the wife of Ben. They call her Miss Ben affectionately. And her story, in terms of how they acquired the place, is definitely a story and a lesson on entrepreneurial you know, experiences and how you should position yourself in terms of strategic planning, the whole nine. But it's also a love story. You know, she and her husband, they fell madly in love with each other at an early age. And you know the old traditional way of couples, you know, the mom and dad of the woman want to know, how are you gonna take care of my daughter? What's your intentions? And so they had to come up with a plan, you know, to sustain themselves. And they took their last $5,000 and they invested it into a building, right? And this building was to become what we know now as Ben's Chili Bowl. Wasn't easy. You know, they weathered the storm of gentrification, the civil rights era, Mayor Barry and the whole nine, they used to come meet in that spot. They were a conduit through the protests, where they would have police there at the same time as community members. And low-key, that became a spot, like a conduit through which they can have dialogue on the low and affect change, something that we very badly need in this day and age. She had the wherewithal and the foresight to do that. But it was funny because she was really almost, you know, frowning on Ben's idea to have a niche market like burgers and fries, you know, hot dogs. You know, she kind of came from a more, you know, upscale mindset. You know, she's a queen. You know, burgers are like, come on now, that's for commoners, you know. So because the area was really elite at that time, before it became the projects in the hood, it was kind of like a really unique black area, elite black area. She's cut from that cloth, but they made it work. They made it work. And so years later, you can see the impact of Miss Virginia. The community loves her. You know, and the children, you see her stepdaughter in there running the place. She's in the place still. The community rallies around him. But she's, you know, Mr. Ben is not here, but she's actually inculcated those same values within her children, her kids, the same movement. They all have children that are representing in the high form in universities and college, becoming, you know, the likes of doctors and lawyers and chemists and those types of things. And they're giving back to their community because they have that foundation that Miss Ben and Ben put into them. And so you gotta love a lady whose progeny, you know, even though she's beautiful and as an older lady and still living, she's overlapping with the time of the youth, her young ones that are doing and carrying on the tradition. And you can see the love in her eyes, man, when she talks about them. And it's just so endearing to see that kind of family still be, you know, represented in this time period, 2016, with those old values that still have a mind to serve the community through food, but also provide a space of familiarity of the past in the midst of this overlapping future that's coming our way. And so you just got to give respect to Miss Ben, to Miss Virginia Ali. You know, it's just a beautiful thing. Ben's Chili Bowl is a slice of DC, along with Florida Avenue Grill and other spots that you don't want to leave. So if anything ever came up to do something to take that away, we need to rally behind those places, just to make sure that y'all understand that. Yeah.
My daughter, because
the loyalty, man.
She was a part of our lives long before my sons had wives. We only had 3 sons.
Right, okay.
And so today we have 3 wonderful sons. We sent them off to good universities. One became an attorney, the youngest one. They all went to bed. And 2 of my daughter-in-law. The one you met, and Sonia. And the third daughter-in-law is a counselor. Her office is in that building next door.
Okay, okay.
So it's a family affair.
Family, yeah.
It's all about
and it's a black excellent family.
All about
Yes, it is. So we got consistency, keywords, longevity, sustainability, ownership, and faith. Definitely took a lot of that. And community has always been the backdrop of the whole thing, man. So I just applaud Ben Shillybo for being so many things on so many levels. For me coming to Howard at 17 years old and still seeing a bastion of something that I can tangibly hold on to from that day, still being here, and this beautiful woman who's the matriarch, yes, I applaud that. And so thank you so much for talking to us and sharing your story.
Glad to see you again.
Hey, that's right. Thank you. Black excellence. This is what it's about. Peace.
So here we are, homecoming, Howard University, 2016, Sunday. It's time to part. It's time to go our ways and get back to our lives. It was a beautiful time coming home. The reality is we gotta get back to work. Right now I'm still in the establishment, good food, and my good brother is Jeff Loman from Howard University. And this was his first year in business, so this was his first annual homecoming brunch. So I said, you know what, Jeff, we're gonna come, we're gonna make it the official brunch spot for the Black Excellence Tour. So we're here, and soon we're gonna talk to him, let's get a little bit about, you know, his establishment here in Capitol Heights, Maryland. Food, I just had it was absolutely amazing. Forgive me right now, our voice is low because you've seen us all weekend, but it's very important that I still spotlight my brother, so just keep watching. So Sharon, it's your birthday. How you feeling right now? Whichever comes before you, it's your birthday, exactly. So we're here with your beautiful family, homecoming 2016. Yeah, how you feeling, birthday boy?
Man, I am blessed to have another year of life. I remember last year on my birthday, my wife gave me a card, and it said, "Happy birthday, Dad," from the two of us. And that's when she told me that she was pregnant. Best birthday gift I ever got. Well, here I am a year later. I have her, and I got all of these people, all these beautiful bison. I don't even deserve a life this good, man. I don't. Nobody has to give. I don't need a single material thing. I need to know that my people are doing well and that my family is cared for, and I'm good. I'm good.
Yes, yes, yes. And the party, though it's wrapping up, it continues. But it couldn't wrap up until I got my brothers and my brothers that allowed me to be a part of their business brand that's taking off. I'm talking about Supreme Vintage Clothing. If you're not familiar, you're gonna find out. I want to introduce you to my brothers, 25 plus years. Jarrell Allen, my man Booch. What's good, baby?
Chillin', chillin'. What's good, Earl? What's good, baby?
We're here homecoming, but I want to let the people know, man. You got JL, that's James Logan, that's Jarrell Allen, JA. Yo, what made you decide to make Supreme Vintage happen?
I mean, we went to school together, so we knew from the beginning we had been working together for last 20 years over different projects, and it just became saying that we wanted to create something that had a lot of memories and emotions in it, and we went through a lot of different things, but always we came back and ended back up with where we started at school at Howard, and realizing that it wasn't just about the institution and the school element of it. It was where we stayed, what we did, the people that we knew. Those are the lifelong things that we take away from the rest of our lives. It's not just the education, but the people that we knew. And we formed those relationships in the dorms. Found out there was an opportunity because they weren't trademarked. We went through and trademarked the names, and we were able to create dorm life.
Who had the idea?
We both came up with it. I mean, like I said, we've been working together. I just relocated back to Atlanta. We hooked up, and we just always was meeting, trying to figure out, like, what can we do? What can we come together and do? And we always talk about, you know, things that make us have a sense of pride. And we talk about Howard. We was like, well, we just can't do a Howard shirt. There's millions of those. So we talking, we vibing. We just thought about the dorms. Like, yo, remember Meridian? Remember Slow, Sutton? Yo, that's where you kind of make your bones at Howard. You know what I mean? Like there's the campus life stuff you do on campus, you go to class, but in the dorms, you know, baby, that's where it go down. You know what I'm saying? So we just vibe, came up with a logo, the name of the company, put it together, and here we are today, man.
You know, Supreme Vintage, you know, we all in alliance right now. I'm blessed to be in partnership with them. So you definitely check out supremevintage-uws.com. And you can catch the sweatshirts, the shirts, supremevintage-uws.com. It's a beautiful situation, man. We're here, Howard Homecoming 2016, the Black Excellence Tour. Happy homecoming, baby. So you know what it was. You saw us eating. You see the people eating. And I talked a few moments ago about, you know, going to talk to my brother Jeff, who owns the spot. But he was real busy, you know, when you got your place popping, people coming in, you got to greet the people, make sure everything is right. But I was able to capture him. First things first, Jeff, what's good, brother? Happy homecoming.
Hey, man, happy homecoming to you, baby, and congratulations on your success, man. Thank you for bringing your experience out to good food. Give a little something for the world to share, man. We just Bisons trying to do the Bison thing, baby.
We ain't trying, because I'm not trying to be here. I'm here.
We here.
You're not
right?
trying to serve food.
We're going to make it happen. We're going to show the world that we are the game changers. We make things happen. We change the world. We're going to keep changing the world, man.
So tell me, Jeff, good food, man. Are you from Maryland, D.C. area?
No, I'm from Cleveland. I'm Cleveland born and raised. Good food was a concept that I came up with when I got the restaurant. I simply thought about it and I said, what's the one thing that's standard when anybody spends money on food? What's the one thing they want? Is it good service? Sometimes they'll accept that, but the one thing you can't not give a person when they spend money is good food, because that's all we want when we spend our money. So that's what I try to get. So first and foremost, I gotta like what I'm serving or I'm not serving it. So I've been around the world and I've tried all types of different cuisines. So I try to take little ideas from each aspect of where I've been and each aspect of different dishes that touch me. And I try to run with it, bring it out here to good food and share the love.
Yes. Walking to Howard University, hallowed grounds. And a lot of people come up here and check the vibe for the homecomings. And, you know, it's a college campus and there's some certain amount of decor and decorum as you kind of like navigate your way through a college campus. You get that feeling of legacy and be connected to the past. But Howard is unique in that the buildings aren't just arbitrarily named. You know, they actually have people, you know, this is HBCU, but the people who are the namesakes of these buildings have some real historical meaning for us in our plight, right? And that type of information we're actually coming up on the Moreland Spingarn Library from Howard University, which houses the most, or was one of the most respected repositories of knowledge about blacks, by blacks, cultural, academic pieces and cultural, sociological research pieces are all housed here. Any researcher that wants to delve into black life in any way, shape, or form, on any level, these hallowed halls here, especially in the top where the stacks are, where they really keep stuff, and then down low they got the microfiche. You get to really experience the diaspora, not even just African Americans, but just African descent. This place houses the biggest repository of that. Moreland Spingarn, I think Spingarn was a Jewish educator, and it was named after. I'm sure the Ford Foundation also put some money into this spot. But outside of the funding, what this spot represents is major in terms of the repository of black knowledge. It's almost like the Library of Cairo. When Alexander came in and took over Egypt, the first thing he did was pretty much pillage and take books that were valuable from the Library of Cairo and burn it, thus erasing a certain amount of our history and our connection to who we are. So the Moreland Spingarn is one of those repositories in the United States of America that just happens to be on Howard University's campus. Big stuff. Walking down this way, this used to be one of my favorite routes because you're coming up from the shuttle bus stop. And if you have a class in English, it's going to probably be in the Elaine Locke Hall. And so people always, yo, meet me in Locke Hall, Locke Hall, Locke Hall. But a lot of people don't know who Locke was, Elaine Locke. You know, they see his pictures, and they say, God, white dude, you know. They don't really know who that is, but Elaine Locke, besides being an educator, foremost writer. The guy, Alain Locke, was probably the catalyst of the Harlem Renaissance. This was a major. Matter of fact, Alain Locke was also the first African-American Rhodes Scholar. You know, I don't know how much credibility people put into Cecil Rhodes, the Rhodes Scholar, which was, you know, a big honor for scholarship. Alain Locke received that award. I think he was the first African-American to receive the Rhodes Scholar. But yeah, here we are. Here we are. This is the Locke Hall. Yeah. I made a C in English here, man. It used to be so funny because I fancy myself a good writer. Made a C in English class, but then right across the way in Douglas Hall, in my political science classes, I would make an A on all my papers while I had English class over here. But the professor would always tell me in political science, hey man, you're a great writer. But then when I would walk over here to Locke Hall and have my class, I get C's on my paper feeling like I'm some kind of marginal, average Joe. You know, but I was. She told me I was too flowery. And it's the artist in me, I wanted to make everything so vivid that I did overdo my sentences. But I just wanted to make people be able to touch and feel these sentences. But Locke Hall, Frederick Douglass, you know, Douglass Hall is, I remember when Black Neoforce, you know, Howard University has a radical black organization called Black Neoforce. Ras Baraka, during my day, was, you know, the chairman, the leader, so to speak, of Black Neoforce. And we used to have our meetings in Douglas Hall right here. And FORCE was an acronym, Freedom Organization for Racial and Cultural Enlightenment. And NEA, of course, means purpose. And FORCE has a physics equation. You know, force equals mass times acceleration. And so we really fancied ourselves as being the force that accelerated the masses, especially during the time of the crack era and Reaganomics and sending our people off to the Persian Gulf and all those kinds of things. And if we walk up to Douglas Hall, I'm going to show you where we used to paint this big Africa continent, spray paint like graffiti, huge. And the powers that be used to be mad at whoever did that. And they used to have people patrolling trying to catch us. And as soon as they would erase it, the next night somehow we would meet up at the flagpole and go do it again. But I'm going to show you. Yeah, this walk right here, going to Douglas. It's a mini day going to Douglas Hall, taking final exams, midterms. You see the people going to the School of Business crying because they got a stats final. And I'm empathetic, but I'm like, no, my brother. I didn't sign up for that major. But yeah, Douglas Hall, this was the spot, like I said, Black Neoforce, we had our meetings, but this was also a spot that just had significance for us in terms of, like Steve Coakley would have meetings right next to Black Neoforce. You know, then you had the Hebrew Israelites. And so all that type of political activity going on a college campus that's federally funded, you better believe they had CIA agents out here looking at our, our progression as young, fertile minds, taking all this political activism in. But Howard was much more, than the party place, much more than, where homecoming happens and those types of things. Howard is steeped in tradition and legacy, and we're going to visit that in a minute. So here we are at the esteemed Frederick Douglass Hall, in this big space right here, this whole big area, this whole radius right here was a big old Africa, even with Madagascar attached to it. And we put the word, Amandla, freedom, up under it or above it, big letters. And so when people came to school the next day and went to class, they would be greeted by this humongous Africa that we had put down. Nobody knew who did it, but everybody knew who did it. And so, but the authorities couldn't catch us. They didn't have sophisticated cameras up here yet. So they didn't catch us. They had to depend on security guards. And they would invariably erase it, and we would do it again. This was our school. The same people who took over the A building, right? Frederick Douglass Hall. We're going to go down here to science. When I was a freshman, my major when I first got here, before I changed it to political science, I was a chemistry major. And, it was a struggle for your boy. I can't even lie. I didn't have that style of aptitude to do that at that time in my life, in my development at that point. It was a concept called molar enthalpy that just basically took me out. And I couldn't use that Hewlett-Packard calculator they made us buy. But the professor was, I think he was a brother of Joe Williams, a jazz singer. His name was Dr. Raymond Fitzgerald Xavier Williams. My name is Dr. R.F.X. Williams. He used to talk like that. And he was like the characterization. He was one of them black history figures. But we're going to go down into the valley where it all happened with the science.
And check that out and see some of these buildings and who they're named after. Yeah, Rankin Chapel. I mean, you know, this is so many famous and politically big figures, along with a lot of meetings that have been of significance have been held here. Even a subplot to this. I remember the first time, you know, people out there know Wynton Marsalis came here one time. And so, I'm a jazz head. I came here to see Wynton. And Wynton brought in this new artist that he was kind of like bringing out of the underground. And this dude had this fly green suede single-breasted suit on, you know, with some Cordovan loafers, you know what I mean, with the white shirt. And he sat down, it was a white dude. And I was like, wow, Wynton is vouching for this guy. And this dude put his fingers on them keys. And I'm telling you, I was like, whoa. But the world ended up finding out about this guy, not because of his piano prowess like I did, blown away in this building. It was because this guy named Harry Connick Jr. can sing and act. That's what the world knows him for. But I saw Wynton bring him up here and introduced these chops to us. But his dad was a U.S. Senator and stuff like that in Louisiana, and you can go back and look at that history too. And there's a lot of different types of political things happening with that. But let's go down here to the chemistry. Now, I was a chemistry major. Oh my God, this brings back memories. This was a rough time of my life down here, y'all. I mean, wow. The labs that we did, I even went to a pre-freshman enrichment program to get a leg up on this thing and still couldn't quite get it together, man. But I tried my heart out because why? My dad told me, who was a journalism major, he told me, he graduated from University of Tennessee, he said, hey man, you're not gonna make no money in communications, you know, be a doctor or a lawyer. And like, he put that on me like that. And I wanted to be, before Stuart Scott even came out, I wanted to be like a hip hop anchor man in sports. And then Stuart Scott came out, and that's exactly the kind of thing I was thinking in my mind I wanted to be. And he did it, so at least somebody got that off. But I went and did this, and I changed to poli-sci, and the rest was history. But this is the chemistry building. We're gonna go down to Ernest Everett Just Hall, because Ernest Everett Just, he studied the cell surface. He was real adept as a biologist. He was also an educator. He was a unique individual in terms of his skill set, far beyond his times in terms of his attention to detail and his theoretical kind of like intuition. You know, a lot of people look at Nikola Tesla, you know, the white guy, the Ukrainian, who was bananas. There was no question about that. And because he saw things holistically. If you really studied Tesla, he understood the holistic nature of the universe. He didn't fragment it like Western thought. He was actually operating off a different type of paradigm than Western thought. But Ernest Everett Just was that same type of guy. He understood the cell surface. He wrote a lot of books and published frequently about the surface of the cell and how it functions, you know, and that opened the door for a lot of other things to build from that in research and in the evolution of science. So when people try to tell you that nobody contributed to the scientific, you know, evolution of humanity, this guy right here, Ernest Everett Just, was one of those pioneers who just happened to be a black dude of the highest order. And there wasn't no hate, you know, even his peers like Charles Drew, you know, who came up with the storage, storing blood plasma, invented, you know, new ways and better ways to store blood plasma so you can have it. You know, he was over the blood banks in World War I and World War II, I think, or one of those wars, check the facts. But the guy quit his post. Why? Because even though he came up with this dope storage, they told him that they were going to segregate the blood. He was like, what? I'm just a black dude. Y'all really think y'all going to tell me y'all going to segregate the blood and I'm going to still continue to do this kind of humanitarian deed? So he quit his post. So these are activists in spaces that we never even knew about the type of activism they were doing. We just know that they invented something, blood plasma or something. But we didn't know the trials and tribulations and the navigation ethic. And so, they took stances in their plight. They didn't just lay down. And now we honoring them through these buildings, but don't let them just be buildings. Like, these are living still because their names are there. So let's understand, tell your kids who these people are. So when they come to Howard and matriculate, before they even get here, they know who Ernest Everett Just is. You know, and hopefully, you know, the kids who do come here who haven't been told, your kids will be the ones that put them up on game. Hey, yo, you know who that was, right? You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. I would also suggest people, if they can, go online and find these magazines, these little comic books called Golden Legacy. Another one of our researchers and brothers that was a scholar named Benjamin A. Quarles put together this volume, and it puts it in cartoon form, but you get to have little kids at 4 and 5. That's how I got influenced. I was in first grade and knew all the historical figures, from Matthew Henson to the Pushkin brothers, to Robert Smalls, through Garrett A. Morgan, you know, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass. I knew all these people because I read Golden Legacy comic books. So I was raising my hand thinking that these people were fictional characters, but when the teacher started talking about it, I was like, oh, I know that person. So get your kids exposed to this stuff early and put it into a form that they can take it in, especially those comic books. But nothing's better than bringing their butts right to the spot if you can. This is like the Mecca for a reason. You have to make a Hajj to this spot and get the realness. So I'm trying to provide a little bit of it. But yeah, in the quad, the Harriet Tubman quadrangle is across the way. I didn't spend any time in the quad except for campaigning when I was running for office. But Harriet Tubman, obviously, the Underground Railroad, chief abolitionist, probably the most hardcore woman in the history of the movement, truth be told. And there's a lot of hardcore women out there. Mary McLeod Bethune, also a great influence in terms of the education piece. And one of the quadrangle, there's 4 buildings, so she's named after one. I think Truth, Sojourner Truth, her name is almost like a pseudonym, but it's her actual name. Sojourn Truth, peep that. Think of the consciousness that goes into calling yourself Sojourner Truth. And they put on a $20 bill, and a lot of people celebrated that. I didn't, for personal reasons, because I think that capital is divisive in the first place, and I don't want anybody, especially our queens, representing that kind of divisive currency. She needs to be on something else, but we need to raise her up. And many women, Ella Baker, SNCC was instrumental here on Howard University's campus, Stokely Carmichael. And so, the women get not mentioned, but Ella Baker was the post behind that movement. A black woman who pulled these cats, who didn't want the limelight, who just wanted everything to be right, though, and had them studying and doing homework on movements and understanding how elocution works and, those types of things, how to make the crowd, but the organizational part of it, the planning, the strategic aspect, the same thing we've been on this whole weekend. Strategic planning, strategic ability, logistics, the thing that nobody likes to do, that's the thing that really shows up in the wash over time, you know what I mean? And these women had that kind of sensibility. So a lot of these movements, the extent to which they worked, were brokered by these women looking at the logistics aspects and seeing the talent distribution. They were like general managers, you know what I mean? They understood the talent, and they were able to give marching orders in ways that played to the strengths and made those strengths end up making their weaknesses stronger. You know what I mean? So, but Howard is full of prestige and legacy, and I would be remiss as a Howardite to not address some of these people and allow them to live, in today's era through media, because these people are great, and we are standing on their shoulders.
And they are.
Black excellence. They are black excellence, as are y'all. Definitely know that.
We just came down to say hello to him, man.
Oh, no,
Good to see you, man. Bless, man. I was blessed. You had a good time?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Matt Middleton down there too, everybody?
Yeah, everybody. It was a great time, man. You know how we do it.
See, I'm old school. I'm 10 years older than that.
You are elder.
Because this brother's all on the dome. I said, yo,
I gotta keep him here because he's not on social media, so I gotta bring him out.
Mike Van, baby.
Garfield Bright, dude.
Pleasure, man. Enjoy, man.
Get on the video, but I got a picture with you later.
Check that out.
Yeah, we just visited our old dorm.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
The only time I ever got to go in there is I was running for office one time. I was running for USA.
Oh, okay.
And I campaigned. I had a campaign.
Other than that.
Yeah, that was it. That was my only time in the quad.
I slapped Bones and Drew.
You don't know nothing about Bones. Don't even talk that. But I didn't get to live in Drew. I had to live in Sutton. So,
Cassine Jackson? Yeah, that's my husband.
What?
Yeah. So, I know, right? So, yeah, I was at the
Tell my man I said peace.
I will.
Happy homecoming.
Let me get this.
That's so wonderful. Happy homecoming. Happy homecoming.
He's coaching.
You'll be taking him?
Yeah. We still got to come.
Hi there, how are you?
No.
Good.
We still got
Let's get it poppin'. King Howard homecoming. Black Excellence Tour, man. Connected with my brother Garfield. 25 plus years, man, seeing all our family, friends. You know, it's something to speak about, you know, when I talk to these young people.
It really is like family, right?
Yeah, I let them know, you know, it's family, man, you know. And it's unprecedented. You can't parallel it. It doesn't make a difference. People are rich. People are working hard, you know, no poor, you know, it's working hard, struggle, 9 to 5, whatever, some people millionaire. But we're all love here, man, you know. We were young people, so we don't care. It's like real family members. You don't care if your cousin is, you know, if he's whatever. It's your cousin, that's my brother. I love him, it don't matter. You know, you get a situation where you got grown men who, you know, have no problem, there's no telling their brother that they love them. Actually saying the word, I love you, brother, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you. That's important, that's real, you know. And our young people have to know that, you know. You're not weak by telling another brother you love him, telling your people you love them. You're strong. You're weak when you can't, and you're weak when you don't. And when we don't tell each other that we love each other, and we don't big each other up, we as a people and a community subsequently are weak. The power and the strength is in the numbers. The power and the strength is in our loyalty and our commitment to each other, and our venerating and lifting up of each other, and our holding of it down. The strength is in, because you only have numbers if you're unified. If you have a whole bunch of people that's not unified, that's not numbers. That's just a whole bunch of random people. And that's what we are right now. It's kind of like random. So that's why our stuff is all over the place. We got to get focused, man. So young people just got to see this, and young and old. People got to watch, you know, these projects with their children, their families, man. We're writing the narratives, you know, and that's our goal, to create the new narratives, you know, that our children can think about. We got to think about this. In 50 years, what's going to be the history? What's going to be in the history books? You know, when they look back, oh, in 2016, well, that was 50 years ago. Well, what those books are going to say? What are they going to represent about us? I don't know what's happening, man. Easy pass. What are they going to say? What are they going to represent? You know? It's really important, you know, so it's just something to think about, man. But I'm just really proud of the opportunity and the ability to do it. I'm proud of the love. I'm proud of the fact that I went to school. I listened to my mother, you know, made good friends, lifetime. And that's every year, you know, shoot. Every year. Shoot, we no longer exist. These friendships are here as bond, as concrete, as this pavement that I'm riding on.